talk to me. We can talk about stuff.
Suraksu.
This feels like a bad movie.
All right, the person I radioed has actually left, but
Wait, the person that actually was talking about ocean dumping?
Yeah, he's the guy in like a Power Ranger
I
uniform.
I ran their plate. I have I have a photo of it. I have documentation of the run. So if you need that, I can send it to you.
Please do. Or if you can make a report about it, I can take a look.
Anything, I'll write up a report.
It's Friday.
Yeah, it's Friday.
You're right, it's Friday, and it's time for an interview.
Nice.
Have a seat.
What's that?
A motorcycle.
That looks like a woman.
Oh, she is on a motorcycle.
Downstairs. I'm 3.
Dispatch 141.
Go for dispatch.
141 10-7, 5 mics.
Dispatch copies Mark U-10-7 at 2256. Have a good night. Bad.
All right, gentlemen.
Mark U-10-7.
So you both wanted to
Who's
come.
that? Is that you with a mask on?
It looks like bandages.
Yeah. Earlier today, I was shot. So a gunshot wound to my to the temple, the close side of my head.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Earlier today, 2 officers were ambushed and shot, and they were robbed afterwards. The streets are hot.
Well, that means you're gonna in the next episode, your power level's gonna spike.
Yeah, you gotta go through a training arc.
Well, training is always required here, so because it's the only way we can move forward. Now, gentlemen, you both applied to be part of the PD, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Okay, all right. Vampingle, let me see your ID real quick.
Yeah, sure, here you go.
All right. And then, Mr. Crane, let me see your ID.
Winks.
There you go.
Perfect, thank you. All right, gentlemen. We're gonna do a small exercise here, okay? The both of you will be doing an interview at the same time.
All right.
What you're gonna do, you're gonna come up here, and we're gonna ask you a series of questions. A series of questions. Obviously, I'm gonna ask...
Serious questions?
No, a serious. Multiple.
A series of.
A series of questions. And then from there, I'm gonna ask you a personal question. Put you in the spot, see how you do, see how you react, and see what you come up with, okay? So who wants to go first?
Yes, sir. I'll go first.
All right, come up here.
Get up there, Vampingle.
All right. Question number 1. Where are you from? Why'd you apply to be a police officer?
I'm from Japan. And I've watched a lot of Western films. And you know what my favorite part of every Western is? Is that there's a fucking cowboy who wants to save the day. Someone with a heart of gold and a mind of steel. And they'll sacrifice themselves to help others. Because at the end of the day, even if the sun is bright and the night is dark, weather changes and people change. But a gold-hearted cowboy is there to protect people no matter what.
Well, this guy is farming way too much, man. Wow. That was deep. I like that. Now, if I had to ask you something, if I had to ask you to pick one thing that you're carrying with you right now that would represent a police badge, what would it be and why?
Something I'm carrying on me right now?
Either an article of clothing, on your possession, things like that.
Well, I don't really carry much, but I guess two things. I'd say one, my shirt. You know, it's a heart on the sleeve type of deal. I'm a patriot. And I'm here to use my revolver of justice to make sure that the innocent civilians of this city can wake up, go to work, start a family, and they can be happy and safe while doing it.
Wow. So
And my boxers have hearts on them, because I'm full of love.
Damn. Oh, okay. Well.
And let me ask you something, Slacks. What's your favorite color?
Yellow?
That's perfect. Yellow's very bright. You're like the morning star that shines on everyone.
Aw.
But you know what my favorite color is?
Red.
That's one of them.
Black?
Look at my sweatshirt.
Oh, blue.
Red, white, and blue, baby.
Damn
Just
straight.
like this flag right here.
Damn right. Damn right indeed. Okay. Now, let me ask you a couple more questions. If you became a police officer tomorrow, what would be the first thing you would do and why?
The first thing I would do if I became an officer tomorrow is I would go to my superior officer and I would say, sir and or ma'am, I've been given a duty to help protect not only the civilians of this city, but you as my brother and or sister. And I, along with this badge, require a bit more training, whether that is in the form of navigating the MDT or having a refresher on every law that I might have forgotten.
And you said in the past you had previous experience as a police officer?
I myself have never had experience, but my brother Vingle Dan taught me everything he knows.
Oh, that's right. It was your brother taught you everything. And how much of that information have you retained?
Well, I'm not stupid. Some of the things he told me I probably wouldn't do. But
Can you name one?
one of the stupid things?
Yeah.
Taking prisoners out of the cell to execute them. I would not do that.
That's right.
That's good. That's good. That would be a foolish mistake.
Even if they were threatening to kill people, I would let the law handle them and not take it into my own hands.
Subscribed for 10 months.
I also would not, in tandem with Brick Shatowski, use a nail gun to kill a culprit and then cut off their head.
Jesus Christ. And he was still a cop?
Yeah, that would be terrible.
I would not do either of those things.
What makes you so sure? I mean, that was your brother, right?
Well, my brother's a piece of shit. Listen, my whole a lot of my family are pieces of shit. But I'm different. I'm a cowboy. I'm not a fucking outlaw.
I see. And you say family members. How many do you have? The Spit Bandit
Oh,
Would
don't
you
make
like
him
me
read
to
the
name
list.
them?
Don't make him read the list.
Oh, please. I would love to know more about you.
Oh, God. All right.
Yo, appreciate the Ramee raid. Welcome everybody from Ramee stream.
We have.
We're doing PD interviews.
Give me a second.
God damn. It's a big boy raid. Thank
We
you, Ramee. I
have
appreciate that.
myself,
Thank you.
Vampingle, my brother, Vingle. And then we have Fingle, Dingle, Wingle, Kringle, Pringle, Bingle, Mingle, Single, Vajingle, Admingle, Andringle, Bada Bingle, Bane Skingle, Blingle, Balingle, Broskingle, Berningle, Bicentennial Dan, Canadan, Kringle Dan, Christian Mingle Dan, Dangle
Christian
Dan,
Mingle?
Drizingle Dan, Fangle, Fingil, Fucker, Gare Kingle, Goofingle,
I
Gringle,
appreciate all the hearts,
Judgingle,
man. Thank you all for being here.
Kegel, Kermingle, Kingle, Katingle, Royingle, Peachingle, McKingle, Shing.
Are you still going?
Uh-oh.
Poker 41 day just subscribed for 3
What's the
months.
last one I said?
Shingle?
Shitingle? Shingle?
Yeah, something like that.
Peachingle, McKingle, Shingle, Sfingle, Texingle, Tingle, Tinkle, Trevingle, Zuckerberg, Robot, New Jeff, Pilbus, 4T, Richard, and Jimmy Youngman.
Good night, Rog.
Captain, am I good to
Yep.
listen in on this?
Feel free to ask any questions, Sawyer. So,
I just got here, so I'll think
so-
of questions to ask.
I have a question for you. What happens if you have to arrest one of your family
Dispatch
members?
120,
What do you do?
Happily.
Dispatch copies mark U10-8S025.
No hard feelings?
Hell no.
Why is that?
I like arresting my family more than I'd like arresting a random piece of shit.
You don't like your
That's
family?
That's one of the best character arcs.
No, I love my family, but I love fucking them over more.
Well, will you be fucking them over more using the badge? Is this something you would, misuse?
Well, I say fucking over,
1986
but in their
just
mind it would be
subscribed for 3
fucking
months.
over. Me, I'm just upholding the law.
All right, let's go through a couple scenarios, all right? So, it is your first shift. And it's you and your FTO, all right? And you decide to go to Senior Buns to get some food, right?
It's actually pretty chill here, guys.
Sure.
Honestly.
And when you get there, while you're waiting in line, the guy in front of you said he paid for the food, but the cash register is saying otherwise. They're sitting there for like 10 minutes arguing back and forth as far as who's going to pay for it or what's going to happen. What do you do?
Well, if I had the money,
Actually, dispatch.
all right, I'm gonna assume I have the money, all right? Because if I don't have the money, I can't do anything. But if I had the money, I would buy it myself, not to help the guy, but to de-escalate the situation at hand. An argument can very easily turn into assault. And I'm willing to pay that burger to make sure that that person doesn't get hurt.
Okay, what do you do with a situation that's kind of similar, but instead you have witnesses, and then you talk to them, and then when you walk up to them, they say, I don't talk to the cops. I'm not snitching. Go away. How do you change your mind? How do you talk to them? How do you get through them?
Well, respectfully, I'm not there to give lectures on why they should trust the police. I feel my police work in the long term should prove to them that I am someone worth trusting instead of lecturing them in a fucking senior buns.
So you're saying you're gonna let your actions speak for you?
Yes.
Okay. Sawyer, Crane, do you have any questions for him?
I have a scenario question.
Yeah.
An elderly man comes up to you thinking he's a police officer and is trying to convince you he is, even though he's obviously not. What do you do?
I tell him to leave me alone.
How old?
James Randall Old.
Who's
Well, yeah,
that?
let's go with that.
He's 74.
It depends, right? If
I thought
someone
he was
comes
82.
up to me, if someone well of mind comes up to me and is impersonating an officer, I will give them one warning, and if they do it again, I will arrest them. If it's an old man that doesn't know what he's saying, honestly, I'd probably just leave.
All
Yeah,
right.
or give him a quest or something.
Yeah, I'd keep
Alright.
him busy.
Tell him to go clean up the park because there's people dealing drugs.
Crane, do you have any questions for Vingle?
Vampingle?
Vampingle?
You can
what-
just call me Vingle for short.
Yeah, Vingle, right?
What's your favorite manga and why?
Well, oh man. My favorite manga would probably be Berserk. The trials and tribulation that Gatsu faces is the trials and tribulation a man should overcome. He's strong, he is loyal, and he has a cool ass sword,
Dispatch copies mark you in traffic at 121.
and he fights evil.
C-Slacks, that's us, right? We're ready to embrace
Copy.
the trials and tribulations. We just need cool ass swords, aka Glock 19s.
Hmm. Hmm.
Can I ask one more scenario
Of
question?
course.
Ask anything you want.
All right. You are patrolling at Legion Square. Several people run into the Legion Square bank, getting chased by a group of people armed with wrenches. The victims are being beat up right in front of you. What do you do?
Shoot them.
Do you verbalize anything or just shoot?
If they are
Depends.
in the act of beating someone to death and they're chasing them, no one innocent is fucking chasing someone with a wrench.
Hmm.
I go up, I say, put the weapon down, and if they don't put the weapon down, I execute them.
Now, what if they swing at you with that weapon?
That wouldn't
there's
happen.
no way. There's no way they get that close.
They wouldn't get that close.
Okay.
If they run at me with a weapon in hand, I will tell them to stop as I'm backing up, and if they don't stop, I'll shoot them in the head.
Yeah, if they're bludgeoning someone with a pipe wrench, it's too late to tell them to stop because that person could already have brain damage and be bleeding out and seizing.
No,
So at
no,
that
there-
point, that person needs to be stopped.
I do not entertain
What?
self-defense as chasing someone down with a wrench.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That's not a cowboy move, you know?
Well, it's not self-defense if you're chasing after him, right?
Cowboys stand their ground. They don't go around
They-
chasing after people.
I will sympathize with them if the situation turned out as it was self-defense at the start, but the second they started running at them, it's no longer self-defense, it's now assault. Even if they were in the right, I will sympathize with them, but I will be stern in my explanation.
Yeah, I'm gonna be stern too in my execution.
Hmm.
Like
Excuse me?
John Wayne would be.
Yeah, justified shooting.
Justify shooting. We don't
If
execute
you're
people.
bludgeoning someone over the head with a pipe wrench, you're catching 2 to the dome.
Well, we don't aim for the dome. We aim for center mass, right?
Yeah,
Why?
center mass because it's easier to hit.
If you get selected and go through training, through firearm training, we'll teach you exactly what to aim for. What precisely we're trying to go here. Because we have a goal
Yeah,
at that
but
day,
we're
right?
the protagonists, Saraxu. We're gonna be like, our power levels are gonna be beyond anything you've
I'd
ever
go for
comprehended.
headshot.
Yeah,
I'd go
just,
for
but just
headshot.
because
Yeah, we're going for headshots.
listen, and protagonists all the time show restraint. They show mercy. They don't always
Yeah,
go for the
maybe
kill.
in the end, in like the middle arcs, but in the beginning, we gotta show like our youthful exuberance, you know. And you're gonna see us out there like popping heads from a quarter mile away, and then you're gonna have to bring us in and be like, "Look, I know you could take down the whole criminal underworld in one arc if you wanted to, but then we couldn't monetize the future seasons, so we need you guys to slow down."
Well, I'm gonna need the both of you to slow down and be very receptive to the knowledge I'm about to pass on. I don't see
That's
any
right.
tumbleweed. All All right. Well, listen. I have a question.
I have.
I'll keep.
Oh,
ahead.
you go first. You go first. No, you go first, Captain.
All right. I got a question for you. Suppose you find a wallet on the ground with a significant amount of money and the owner's ID. What do?
I contact the owner of the wallet.
What do you tell him?
Hey, sir and/or ma'am, your wallet's on the street. I left it at MRPD with one of the clerks. Please go get it.
But
I was gonna say I'd probably hand it off to the dispatch or the front desk because they're the people that deal with the public the most, and you probably need a couple, good faith moves so that people trust them and talk to them. They get to be the hero because we get to be the hero all the time with our
damn,
Glocks.
bro. What
Yeah,
listen, the
and
good,
it
the
also
bad, the ugly, that's good as fuck.
Gives a better
What?
relationship with the, dispatch.
Yeah, but,
Yep.
but why not hold on to the money to yourself? I mean, nobody else will know. Nobody
we're
has to know.
cowboys, Saraxu. We're not anti-heroes.
Yeah, but nobody's
Yeah.
watching you though, okay?
Yeah, but we're
I'm
watching ourselves.
watching myself.
Why is that important to have self-awareness?
Well, no, we don't necessarily have self-awareness. We just have a code of morals and like a guiding light, that determines our every action. Self-awareness
Yeah.
might stop us from actually being pure enough to take down the bad guys.
Listen,
Self-awareness gets you killed because then you start examining your flaws, and we can't do that. We don't have time for that. We have to think we're perfect.
Well, what if I told
I'm
you you're not
not
perfect?
doing. Hold on.
Yeah, I know that.
I'm not doing. I'm not helping people for other people to think I look good. I'm doing it because I believe it's right.
Yeah.
I see. You're not trying to be righteous about what you're doing and appear that way. You're doing it because you are doing the right thing.
Yeah, like John Wayne would.
Yeah.
Or a revolver Ocelot.
We're basically put here to shoot people in the head legally and save everyone.
Well, I don't want you to think that being a cop requires a bullet in the head of somebody else, right? I don't want you thinking.
No, but just like that's the only everyone skips to that part of the episode anyway.
Well, no, I mean people like to take it slow sometimes, right? So.
Oh come on! Nobody's watching Krillin at the fucking beach, Saraxu. They're watching. They're watching the fucking Kamehameha to the face. All right, buddy.
I feel like you're speaking a completely different language. Remember, it's justified shooting, not killing.
Yep, justified shooting. Got it.
All right. Any more questions for Mr. Fingal?
Yes, I have one. An 82-year-old man by the name of James Randall comes up to you dancing on a bicycle holding a CRT computer monitor from the 1990s and asks you how to connect it to the internet. What do you do?
I'm 20. I'd tell him that I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Sorry, can you say that again?
What's a CRT, Vampingle?
What is that? I don't even know what that
It's one of those old TVs people play Smash Brothers on. What was the
Ew.
question?
So, an 82-year-old man by the name of James Randall comes up to you dancing on a bicycle holding a CRT computer monitor from the 1990s and asks you how to connect it to the internet. What do you do?
My honest answer is I would ignore him.
Hey, do we have like mental health services? It's kind of different for us because in Japan they just kind of throw those people in jail and we don't have to deal with them.
Well, this is definitely not Japan.
I don't have time to deal with demented old men if I'm on the job.
Well, that's part of the job. Sometimes you're a therapist. Sometimes you're, somebody who has to sit there and listen, right?
Yeah, I can have empathy, but I'm not going to stop patrolling to answer a guy's question about how to hook up his fucking TV.
Yeah,
I'm going to say
that's
go
not
call
my job.
someone at fucking Click Lovers.
Right. I'm not saying you gotta connect people to the internet, right? But sometimes you might have to deal with a problem where it's maybe out of your job description to where you gotta improvise.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that, but in this specific case, if he's asking me how to set up his
What the
TV,
fuck? Oh.
Is
then
there
I don't
a-
care.
Wait,
what just
I think it's a
happened?
Carnado. I think there was a Carnado.
what just happened?
What the fuck
think
are
it was
you
a
guys
Carnado.
talking about?
Oh my god.
I think,
I don't know. I think it's a filler arc. Ignore.
Who is? What the
I think
fuck?
hold on. I'm gonna check this out.
Yeah, come this way. Hello?
I'm pretty sure that was just a coordinated Mr. Mercer.
Hey, how are you?
Kurt, are you okay?
Hi.
Kurt? Radio check? Hello?
Dispatch 161, investigating list 1031.
Alright, never mind. False alarm. Alright, gentlemen, come this way.
37C, sorry.
Holy shit, that guy's ugly.
Who are you talking
Oh
about?
my god.
Oh, never mind.
Hey, Cap, real quick.
Yeah.
We may have lost a CVPI.
How so?
It was just crazy. A whole bunch of wind just came through, and it was just twirling us around in MRPD, and it's I don't know where it's at.
Okay. We'll check after the storm if it's in the impound lot.
All right,
Do you remember the license plate?
I believe Tips knows it.
Okay, have him send the license plate so we can look for it afterwards.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
All right. Any more question for Mr. Fingal?
How's your day today so far?
It's going good. Every day is a blessing.
Yeah, we met a hot babe that does joys.
Yeah, that too.
Okay. All right, Mr. Crane, you're up next.
All right.
All right, Mr. Crane, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Where are you from?
Hi.
Why'd you apply to be a police officer?
I'm Declan. My grandfather is overbearing and made me read a lot as a child. And I didn't have a lot of friends. So I turned to the internet and I found this message board where they were talking about these Japanese novels. And I got way too into them.
He's talking about 4chan?
And eventually I told him I wanted to sign up for college and then took the money and just booked a ticket to Japan. And then I made a living cleaning the bathrooms in bathhouses and maid cafes.
That's where we met.
Yeah, and that's where I met Vampingle over there. And now I think that, it's time that I, embrace my true arc and destiny to, become the hero I was always meant to be. Because, a lot of you Baka Gaijins just kind of waste your potential, and I'm sick of it. So I'm gonna set the record straight and make sure that I achieve what no one else ever could have.
What is that, Mr. Crane?
Complete domination of the world by way of the guiding light that is truth, justice, and heroism.
I like the last part.
Yep.
Now,
I'm like the spirit bomb in a person.
And what happens when the bomb explodes?
Usually people die, but they deserved it. Like you said, justified shooting, right? Like,
so now
they're
we're gonna call it
usually
justified
evil,
bombing?
right? Yeah, justified. Yeah, exactly.
It's on frequency.
Canonically, the spirit bomb can only hurt evil people.
Yeah, it's like you ever watch Psychopaths? You know how like the guns can only shoot people that reach a certain level? I'm like that, right? Like I got the true shot, okay? Like I know who deserves to die and who doesn't. And that's what makes me different from a lot of these other idiots.
Well, you're playing God by saying that, no?
Well, yeah, I'm the protagonist. What do you mean?
It was moving.
But are you God?
No, God's who made me the way I am.
All right, I'm
Protagonists are chosen, Saraxu.
Right, so you are chosen from the heavens.
I don't know about that, but I'm not really sure because I wasn't there for like the infancy of my character arc and like the prelude and all that. But I think so.
Okay, so you claim to be a protagonist. For every protagonist, there must be an antagonist. Who's the antagonist in your story?
I haven't found him yet. I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of chumps along the way. Like henchmen. There's always like the warm-up arcs. Like you got to fight the Ginyu Force, right? It's a bunch of losers who kind of just stumble over themselves. So I'm sure I got to arrest a bunch of like jaywalkers and speeders and a bunch of these other baka gaijins, and then eventually I'll find somebody who kind of surfaces a worthy foe, and there'll be one of those scenes where like it's one of those we'll meet again type deals where I got my gun pointed at their forehead, but I know I legally can't shoot them because they haven't done anything wrong yet, and they kind of walk away because they know too and turn their back on me, and then I kind of have to like ponder, all right, catch you next time, right? And then Vampingle and I will probably, discuss, the next One Piece episode.
I fucking hate One Piece.
Yeah, I know, but it's like everyone's onto it now, and I kind of feel obligated. It's fucking anyway. Sorry about that.
All right, well,
what were you saying?
Going back to One Piece, what is your favorite arc?
Yeah, I don't really like it either. I gotta be honest with you. It's the thing. It's like I feel like I'm
My
obligated.
favorite arc is the one where the good guys use the power of friendship to beat up the bad guy. Because Luffy lost and then got a power up.
Oh, we know how One Piece ends, right? So. Anyways, going back to what we're talking about, if you have to pick a prop that you're holding on to, or article of clothing that represent a badge in your perspective, what would it be and why?
Well, I think it'd probably be my lycra infused pants, because although they look businesslike, just like the robust exterior of the badge forged out of, what is it, brass? It's a tough exterior, but you still need mobility. You need to adjust on the fly. And that's why I'm the best. Because some people are going to go into it with a cookie cutter approach and, hi, I'm John Cop. And then they're going to get their pants pulled down. They're going to get their gun robbed. They're going to get left for shit on the side of the road. Not me. I always win.
What if you don't win? How do you feel?
I mean, training arc, right? It's like you never really lose. It's like, it's always to be continued, right?
Of course. And then as a police officer,
there's always another day.
As a police officer, there's a lot of times where things get very challenging. As a person, how do you challenge yourself?
Oh, I just tell myself that I'm worthless until I get to be the strongest person in the universe.
Negative thoughts.
No, it's a positive thought, right? Because it's like I'm supposed to be the most powerful person in the universe. I'm just not there yet. So I just remind myself that every day is another training arc, right? It's like everything's really filler episode until I find, the antagonist and then shoot him in the face. Justified, of course, shooting.
Justified shooting. Now, as far as what we talked about, police work, academy. Do you have any previous experience being a police officer?
I mean, I was a detective of some sort. Sometimes I used to like point out guys who were like unruly at the maid cafes, and then the Yakuza kind of just made them disappear. So I guess that's kind of like law enforcement.
So that's the only experience you have is just working at a maid cafe and pointing out, the rude folks?
Oh, I mean, I got hand-to-hand training. I could fight. I know how to use a gun, but, I don't really know, like, your procedures and all that. I probably need to learn.
All right. Does somebody have any questions from Mr. Crane?
I have a scenario question.
All right.
A 1013 Alpha, a 1014 Alpha, and a 911 call about a doctor being held up at the hospital all pop off at the same time. Which one do you prioritize? If you don't know, a 1013 Alpha is an officer down urgent, and a 1014 Alpha is a medic down urgent.
Did you say, and they're all at the same time, but not in the same location?
All at the same time, all in different locations.
Sounds like shift 2.
Yeah, that's the cop. The cop life is the most important. Because that's like a member of your team, right? Because if they go down, then the team's weaker, and then by proxy, society's weaker, right? It's like.
I mean, but if the doctor gets shot, who's going to, help your comrade back up?
Yeah, there's more doctors. I go to the hospital all the time looking for Saraxu.
What if the doctor being held up is the only doctor on duty?
I mean, as a police officer, you know what you sign up for, right? I mean, it's a dangerous job. I could die tomorrow on line of duty, right?
Yeah, I'm still getting
medics. Medics and doctors didn't sign up to get shot or held up.
Exactly.
Yeah, criminals do bad things, but I don't know. We still need the cops to be alive.
we need everybody to be alive, right? But sometimes you have to make a judgment call that we're not going to feel good about it in the moment, but we have to make that call to move forward.
So can I put my perspective on this or no?
Sure.
So if I were to answer, I would also say the officer, because the way my brother explained is when the 13 Alpha happens, everyone goes to the 13 Alpha, right? And if you are not going to back up the people that went there, then other officers could get shot. That's why I would choose the officer.
I mean, I see your point, but for me, I would probably think about the doctor first, then the officers, because I know.
I mean, it's also like you said, they pop off at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in terms, there's other factors, right? So, if they're at the same time and they're all equidistant, and there's the same level of threat, meaning like, you know, there's no information whatsoever, and it's in like a white room, and you know, I'm just trying to like evaluate. Then on principle, I'm gonna go for the cop first, because I think they're like essential to being a line of defense. Because you know, the medics are needed to keep people up, but at the end of the day, hospitals can be ran over if there's no cops around, and then the medics are no good even if they're alive. So I think we need the police. But you know, obviously you can prioritize. If you know the cop goes down up in Polito and the medic's 2 blocks away, then I can, you know, figure out what in order. You know, it's kind of like you ever know like those arcs where the big bad guy's doing something, but he's doing it like in another parallel universe or 2 planets away, and you just kind of hear about it vaguely. You're not supposed to go chase after him right away. You're supposed to deal with like the immediate little training arc threats and then progress up to the big bad end guy, you know?
Slacks, if I may.
It's all prioritizing.
I think that point he made is actually really good, because then we could because he knows to not do what Denzel does sometimes.
I don't even know what Denzel does sometimes.
Hesitate?
No. Try and get all the way to the end right off the bat.
Oh, I see.
So, and this is just me speaking from how I was trained as dispatch, you know, 5.5 years ago. I am trained to prioritize the doctor first, the medic second, and the PD first, or third. Because, you know, medics and doctors did not sign up for threats like that. PD did.
Well, what if they're the medics that went to that sanguine war?
True.
Are we putting that in the equation?
Oh my goodness.
What?
Heard about that actually.
The medics who fought in the Sanguine War.
Whose idea was
What's
that, man?
I can't speak on that because I did not fight in that war. I was not on duty during that war.
My answer depends.
I wasn't even
on
making it to work.
Justice.
So
my answer depends on the situation. Now, if the sanguine doctors are on duty, then I'm going for the cop. But if it's a bunch of like new doctors that don't know how to kill people, I'd probably go to the hospital.
let's just say you don't know who fought in Sanguine and who didn't.
I would ask over radio at the hospital, what's the situation? They have the same radio, right?
They have a different radio frequency, but they do have government
Could
radio.
I sub for free using channel points?
I mean, I personally, I can admit I don't know the actual correct answer if there is one. But personally, I would go over radio. I would assess how many people we have around. Probably send some people to the hospital and probably send some people to the officer. And then depending on how the situation unfolded, either one adjust the level of force based on that.
I like that answer.
Yeah, variables.
You are always in a lot of you know, different kind of variables.
And
Now,
to be fair, this question is worded in a way where, you know, it's very much you're not going to encounter this hardly ever, but you know, it is technically possible. And
no cat cam, the cat's sleeping right now.
So yeah, I would have two answers to that. The variable one, if given the option, but if I was the only officer, you know, like there's only two officers, I wouldn't send one to the one and one to the other. I'd make the judgment call to send both to the cop. Is what I would do.
Same thing.
You're right. Shuttlebug should not be a cop.
We're gonna go to the hospital with the shot cop anyway, so we might as well consolidate, right? We go to the hospital first and deal with the doctor, then the cop's bleeding out somewhere. We might as well get to the same point with everybody. Like net time spent, everyone's gonna be in the same location faster if we get the cop first, than if we go to the hospital, then go get the cop, then come back.
Well, like I said, the goal in the future is to have all these kind of things covered with having more police officers around, and that's the plan. Any questions for Mr. Crane? All right. Have a seat. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Well, gentlemen, I really appreciate your time coming down here and answering a lot of questions. Now, what we're looking for
just subscribe.
are folks that have what we're looking for as far as the self-reflection of values, principles, and integrity, right? Those are very key components as a police officer. If I can't trust you, if I don't know if you're somebody who is honest, somebody who cares about integrity, cares about professionalism, cares about being honest, then how can I trust you to do police work? So those are the kind of folks we're looking for. Also, we're looking for folks who are team players. I mean, at the end of the day, you're working with different kind of people, and you got to find a way to kind of fit in and make it work, right? Because a lot of times, you are going to be working with different kind of people you've never dealt with or never had a chance to, you know, get to know pretty well, and you got to make it work. Third, this is a family, right? We all know each other pretty well. We all understand exactly what the goal is, right? Sometimes the plan might change, but the goal should never change. And that's, you know, to treat each other with respect. To make sure that we're not throwing each other under the bus just to make ourselves look better, right? At the end of the day, we're a team, we're a united front, and one action of a police officer represents the whole entire police department. So it's important to understand that.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Okay. Well, do you have any more questions for me?
Yeah, when do we get Glocks?
You get Glocks whenever you go through academy you pass.
Okay, training.
And my
arc.
question,
All right.
sir, is should we be expecting a callback?
Well, what's going to happen next is I'm going to go talk to the captains, put your names down for the next academy, and if they say yes, you hear a call from me. If they don't, then you'll have to wait.
Right. Yeah, that's perfect.
All right.
I'd also like to just mention, all right, totally irrelevant to anything we've talked about, just want to put it out there just so you're aware. My brother, Kingle Dan, he, like, teaches us how to, like, you know what I mean?
I don't follow.
Well, Kingle, he, like, you know, we're training with him every day. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Kingle Dan.
Mm-hmm.
You ever met Kingle Dan?
I have not.
Well, he takes us to the firing range and he, like, shows me how to line up my shots.
Yep.
Okay. Then what happens afterwards?
He's really good
Okay.
at using the gun. If you catch my drift.
I mean, a lot of officers are pretty good at using guns. I mean, that comes. in a
Nah,
lot
we better.
Well, I'm sure you had to go through the training to make sure that you know how to use a gun.
Okay, well, I mean, maybe just, you know, just putting it out there.
Yeah, I mean, have them apply. I'll give him an interview.
Oh, no, he could never be a cop.
Then why would you bring this up?
I'm just saying his spirit lives on within me.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he could be a cop, but he's the personification of Fingal Dan's ego.
I don't know what that means, but as long as you're a good person, I'll talk to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well, all right. We'll see how you do in firearm training.
All right. Let me try this new technique out. F8 quit, no jutsu.
Oh,
I'm sorry you
that
had to see that.
That sure is interesting.
I wouldn't do anything like that, but I can slump really quick.
Wow. Okay, well, that's going to come in handy when taking cover from gunfire.
Yeah. I know.
Perfect. Okay, well, if you don't have more questions from me, I can walk you out. Your friend already vanished out of here.
Yeah, I can go wherever.
No, chat, males don't have the eye patch. Oh, dude. Nathan and fucking Vigors are amazing.
I just can't do anything about it.
Oh, he doesn't have fans.
Thanks for the interview, Captain.
Hey!
Oh.
Isn't it Mr.
That's Vingle.
Yeah, it's Vingle.
Isn't it?
No, I'm
Vingle.
Vampingle. No, I am not.
Oh, Vampingle.
Which
Me
one?
and Vingle are two different people. I'm Vampingle, but you can call me Vingle for short.
Oh, okay.
Captain, can I speak to you?
That
real
makes a
quick?
lot of sense.
Sure thing.
I love that name, Mr. Vampingle.